Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another episode, number 9.
Hey, okay, I had like 75 fights in my time, and I was scared for each and every one of them.
March 28th, 2020. Why don't you tell us why you chose that today?
Well, you see, the fear in your heart is going to build up, and it's going to become like a fire. And when the fire is ready to explode, it's going to explode with full force. And the fear is going to become like your best friend. I just thought that would inspire a lot of people throughout this virus to, get back up and fight hard. Listen to that little angel on your shoulder. That's going to tell you, get up, you son of a bee. Because Mickey loves you. And lots of people love you.
And that's very nice, Joe. I'm going to check in on the mood meter. As you can see, it is Saturday. Kind of in between the blue and green. I'm a little tired today for some reason.
Yeah.
So I'm somewhere.
But it is Saturday.
It is Saturday. This is your special edition Saturday.
I'm going to have something fun coming up later today in maybe a couple hours. This is a surprise even to you, but it's called Brick Brack Riff Raff Knapsack Boogie. So stay tuned for that. I already have a new rap song up. You can check that out. And later on today, I'll have a video. It's not rap, it's not political, it's not news. It's called Brick Brack Riff Raff Knapsack.
Well, perhaps that is the video of us putting my bicycle together.
Well, maybe it could be anything. We'll see what it is.
Well, we're going to talk about inspiration a little bit here. Quote of the day: the ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy. And I think that ties really nicely in. And that was by MLK Jr.
How about it? Very good. Nice quote.
So,
awesome.
and today is also National Something on a Stick Day,
Okay.
Black Forest Cake, and also Earth Hour. And Earth Hour started in Australia, and it was talking about energy conservation. So anything you could do today to, since we're all inside, and I think this is like pretty ironic because it talks about climate, change, and things of that sort.
I saw you preparing that, and I was surprised that it was Earth Hour. Like, what, only 1 hour?
Conserve, but think of how much energy if we all participated in that.
That everyone comes together to conserve. Well, you know what? I'm sure that was developed before all this virus.
It was.
Environment-wise, we do hear a lot of good things. LA's smog has been reduced. Or I think one of our first shows we talked about Venice, Italy, and how the waterways are improving pollution-wise, and the animals are coming back. So there is some good stuff there. I will get into something interesting. Sweden has actually taken a very loose approach to this whole virus, and they have not locked down hard. And interestingly, its neighbors, Denmark and Norway, have locked down hard, and proportionately, Sweden doesn't have much more deaths than those other countries, and they really didn't do much. They just told people to social distance, but there was no mandatory lockdown, and they have double the deaths of those neighboring countries, but they're also double the size, so it kind of works out evenly. So, I think people are past that idea of don't regulate, don't lock down, but Sweden really didn't, and they'd have it no worse than neighboring countries. The Prime Minister Boris Johnson in Britain, that is the approach he wanted, and people quickly shot him down, and Britain didn't go that way, and he now does have coronavirus, so people think that's kind of ironic that he did kind of have that laissez approach at the beginning, and now he does have the virus. So, interesting. And just a couple of days ago, Florida was a lot like what I just mentioned in Sweden, where it was social distance, but nothing mandatory. But now even Florida's cracking down. And like I mentioned before, I can't even go play basketball.
In the park.
Yeah, not on a basketball court anyway.
Yeah, I mean, especially up in the Northeast. Our families are dealing with this now, and more so strict.
Yes. And historically, the Northeast has been like that. They've been more strict, government stepping in. So when Florida did kind of lock down, we saw that things were getting serious. Anything else? Want me to go?
You could go.
So, I kind of I kind of predicted that the Olympics would be canceled, and I was right.
We talked about this in another episode.
Then a couple episodes, I mentioned how Andrew Cuomo has been on TV a lot and has been on the rise, and was I right again? Well, maybe it seems that way. Many people are saying he ought to be the Democratic nominee, not Joe Biden, because he kind of has that New Yorker, tough talk in your face. You don't get the sense that he's filtering himself. And if people like Trump because of that tough guy attitude, Andrew Cuomo seems to maybe even be a little better at it than Trump is. He doesn't seem like he's putting on a facade. He actually is sort of that attitude of, New York tough guy. We'll see what happens, but a lot of Democrats are calling for it to be Cuomo. And he's divorced from a Kennedy, so he even has that tie to the Democratic prestige. We'll see what happens.
So I can feel my allergies acting up a little bit, and maybe some of you all out there are dealing with this also. So today's product is Antronix by Standard Process, and this has a little bit of decongestive elements in there. So check with your nutrition response testing specialist to see if your body reacts well with that.
Very good. Want me to take one?
Take one.
All right, so it has been shown that China, just like people thought Russia was meddling in the past election, I guess it's been shown that China is kind of interfering with our social media and putting out stories that are just designed to divide America. What's so interesting is our officials will have meetings with these foreign nations, and it's just like understood. Like, hey, would you try to do something to stop this? Like, everybody knows it's going on, and we have relations with these other countries as there are people in those countries purposely trying to divide America, doing a very good job of it, by the way.
Could you give us an update on China and the cases? I heard that maybe they're
China's getting back to normal.
getting back, but then I heard controversial news on this, that perhaps that it's starting back again.
Starting back, I haven't heard that, but
So if anybody out there has updated information on this, please share with us.
a lot of the U.S. cities are projected to surpass Wuhan in the cases and the deaths, but that should really be no surprise because America in general has already become the leader of cases and deaths. So that's not, and I think I mentioned to you just yesterday that supposedly we won't even be at our peak until 3 weeks, from now. 3 weeks until we get to the peak of
That's
evil,
pretty scary.
of badness.
It's really scary because it's increasingly, surpassing already, and it's like what's to come. So we're just kind of waiting too, also to see like what happens around here, to see if we go back to the physical classroom or if we don't. So everything, is kind of in limbo right now, and I wouldn't be surprised if next week, we get an update and saying, hey, you know what, we're out until the 15th regardless. However, we foresee, and that's an unfortunate circumstance for especially the seniors again.
Very happy with one of my co-workers. I won't say her name, but she put out a video of how to do mass emails to our specific classes. That's exactly what I needed, because all I needed was to be in touch with the families and the students so that I can give them their online stuff. No new platforms, no new programs. Stick with the tried and true ways of communication. And so I'm kind of excited. I think it will run very well. I put out an email that said we will study history as we're making history, and some of the parents just loved that. I kind of thought I was being cheesy, but you never know who might think that's such a brilliant thing.
You never know
I
who
didn't
you're
come up with
going
it.
to inspire.
That's right. Whatever works.
Whatever works.
Anything else?
We haven't added any music in this episode.
Well, let's do a song.
Let's do a song.
Boom.
Right? How about
boom,
play?
Go ahead.
Oh.
Boom, 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 boom.
I've got sunshine on a cloudy day.
Boom, boom, boom.
When it's cold outside, I've got the month of May. Yeah, I guess you say what can make me feel was showing off my alto.
Backfield emotion.
Okay, well, thank you for joining us, and we all hope that you have a great
Stay
Saturday.
tuned for Brick Brack Riff Raff Knapsack Boogie, my next video coming out later today.
And I will probably be engaging you all in an email about some of my upcoming events and original songs and such. So have a great Saturday.
Peace,
Thanks for joining.
Nostrovia, beef is over.